the Liberal Party.
Bonjour tout le monde. Good afternoon. My name is Bernadette Clement and I'm the federal Liberal candidate for this riding. I'll tell you a little bit about myself to start off. I celebrated my 20th anniversary in Cornwall 2 weeks ago. So the reason I'm in Cornwall is I became a lawyer 20 years ago. And the first job that I got was with the Legal Aid Office here in Cornwall. And I'm still with the Legal Aid Office 20 years later, enjoying the work that I do there. I help victims of crime, people with disabilities. I do employment law, landlord-tenant law. So there's all kinds of things, workers' compensation, that I do at Legal Clinic. I studied law at the University of Ottawa and grew up in Montreal. We are a nation of immigrants, we've all said that, some of us more recent than others. My father is from Trinidad and Tobago, from the Caribbean, and my mother is Franco-Manitoban, from Manitoba. And the two of them were teachers in Montreal and met at a local high school in Montreal. And they still live very close to that high school where they met in Montreal. And I grew up in Pierre Trudeau's riding. So I guess I come by being a Liberal from way back then, through the politics of my parents as well. Since moving to Cornwall, I became involved with different community agencies. I sit on very many boards as a board member with Baldwin House, with Family Counseling, and also on the board of the Cornwall and District Immigrant Services Agency. I sat on that board for many years and unfortunately had to sit through the closure of that, recent closure of that agency when we lost some funding. I do want to thank the TR Léger Immigrant Services for organizing this forum. I'm still getting used to the new name. It was CIRC and now it's Trillis. So I want to thank that agency for organizing this and for hopefully carrying the torch for the loss of Sedisa in this community. It's never good when we lose services for integration of immigrants and new Canadians to a community. I was also involved with the Multicultural Trailblazer Awards. You may have heard of those awards that we do every year to celebrate the successes and contributions of immigrants and new Canadians to our particular community. In the 20 years that I've been here, the face of Cornwall has changed dramatically. I can remember days where I was a little lonely there in those 20 years ago, and now when I look around and when I walk around Cornwall and area, I feel that it's a growing, diverse community, and that's a good thing, and we all know that. The Liberal platform is very interesting from an education point of view and from a family reunification point of view. We've been noting a decline in the family class or family reunification visas in the last few years, a decline in those numbers. And we don't feel that that's appropriate. It's important when new Canadians and immigrants come to Canada that they have their families with them, that they can bring their parents with them, because that'll help them to integrate. That'll help them to start their own businesses, to enter the workplace, all the while having the support of their parents or grandparents in the family, in caring for their children. It makes for a more comfortable, an easier transition. So family reunification is key, and we don't want to see a decline in those family class visas. The other important thing is education. We need to make sure that new Canadians have the skills that they need to be able to go for those jobs, and we need to create those jobs, those modern jobs of the future, the jobs with good benefits, with proper pay, and you need to have the skills to match those jobs that we want to create in a successful country. So the Liberal platform contains a learning passport where students, as of grade 9, will receive $1,000 in an RESP, and that'll increase, or that'll be covered over 4 years, so by the time they're ready to go to high school or go to post-secondary, they have an RESP built up through funds given by the government. And that'll start setting the tone and giving some confidence to those students in understanding that it is important and they will have access to post-secondary education. Also, as part of the Liberal platform, there is increased funding for language training. And we want to broaden the eligibility for language training as well. So there's $100 million new investment there over the next 4 years, specifically for language training. We also want to look at improving recognition of credentials. The fact that we have immigrants, new Canadians who have fantastic education levels and who are not performing in their careers costs us money, costs Canada and Canadians money. So we have to look at it from that perspective. And we have to work with provinces and all of those different governing bodies. You know, as a federal government, we have access to creating national programs. We have the power to bring all of these people together to create better recognition of credentials and start doing that from before immigrants actually leave their country of origin and come here. So there's a lot of work to do in that area, and the platform speaks to those particular areas. I want to let you know that I'm applying for the job to become MP. I'm very excited about this election process and this campaigning and the conversations that I'm having with people. I sit on City Council now. I went into politics in 2006 and was elected to City Council then and re-elected in 2010, but I'm on a leave of absence from City Council and from Legal Aid to concentrate on running for this job of MP on a full-time basis. Thank you for listening. Merci beaucoup. Ma mère est francophone, donc je suis bilingue et j'offre mes services au niveau de l'aide juridique en anglais et en français. Le plus important de la plateforme libérale, c'est vraiment au niveau de l'éducation et d'être certain d'avoir des visas pour les familles, pour encourager les immigrants à avoir leur famille avec eux, parce que c'est en famille qu'ils vont se sentir plus confiants et plus à l'aise et plus aptes à avoir du succès au niveau du travail et de l'intégration à la communauté canadienne. So I want to thank you very much and look forward to questions.